Okay, we're back. We're doing a point of view game of Age of Mythology Retold, and today we're watching Neymar MD. We've had requests to watch some Atlantean games. How do Atlantean play? No one seems to be playing them. Well, Neymar MD, I'm pretty sure, is a Chronos one trick, or at least a guy that loves himself a bit of Chronos. So we're going to see what he does. He's up against Mosca, who is a very, very high level player. I think both players are in the top 100. Mosca's like top 10. But he's on an off-god. Mosca seems to play a lot of Poseidon. Odin is arguably quite similar to Poseidon because he likes his cavalry also. He likes raiding cavalry instead of Hippias, but it's basically the same thing. So we're going to see what he does there. Maybe I'll make the map smaller. Maybe I can't because there's a bug. Of course there is. The map, I don't think we've said, but it's steppe. And that is a very good Odin map. Odin loves steppe. He loves anything like Savannah, anything that's super open that he can get all his raiders around. But Chronos, I mean, he does have some answers to raiders, so we will see if that's what's going to happen from the Odin perspective. The other thing that Odin can do is go mass berserks, which can be very strong. Odin with his tech that got buffed probably 2 patches or 3 patches ago, where it now gives you extra speed and bonus damage versus myth units. So that tech could come into play, and that's very hard for the Chronos to deal with. Chronos doesn't have the super Mamilo that the other Gaia and Uranos have going through Oceanus. They don't have that kind of poison damage thing that is OP. So Chronos, he kind of has to deal with his own thing, and he can go through Leto, he can get his robots out, that's one of the choices, those automatons, or he can go the other way, get Prometheans, which is very, very good. So, Temple is going down, and I expect to see an advance time straight after this, going for a pretty fast advance time, 3 minutes 30, which is pretty quick. Probably going to time shift this bad boy forwards. Even if you don't go for a full rush, it's normally worth it. It's free to transfer it over. You can transfer it over here, get your Prometheans, which is what he's chosen to go through, over here, and then transport it back, time shift it back, whatever it's called, and be absolutely fine. We do see a very aggressive Oracle, many aggressive Oracles even. So he wants to put some pressure onto Mosca. Maybe we haven't said that Chronos versus Odin, I've just completely whiffed because I don't play much of either, but it's quite Chronos favored because the rush is pretty devastating. It's because Odin really struggles to deal with it, whereas against Thor, Loki, they can get trolls out. Trolls are pretty good at defending. Looks like Mosca did try to hide his temple to get his free unit out there and build some hearses, but our main man Neymar does manage to spot that one. Completely whiffing on where these are. Temple transported in the back. Prometheans going to town on that dwarf. Dwarf does manage to get to safety. Nice little building placement here, so the house is actually blocking in this berserk. I think this dwarf is getting a bit too big for his boots there, and I think he is going to go down. You've sometimes got to think he's advanced so quick that I do have a bit of extra resources on him that you can afford for your villagers to kind of not be working for a while, and you don't want to get too greedy. At the same time, you don't want them to sit and be doing nothing for ages. You've got to find that kind of fine line, and it is very, very difficult. The Raven is going to go have a look. Counter barracks comes in. And yeah, why this is so good with this rush is you build this one Cairo Baluster, right? And then you use this God Power, Valor, and you make him a hero, and he's very, very strong. So hard to take down. Not hard to take down, but just so strong. Easy to take down, in fact. But one reason why this Cairo Baluster is so good, unfortunately, he is sitting inside the town center. You've got to watch out for that. Why he's so good against Odin rather than some of the other civs is you want some counter archers to really take this guy out from range. So things like slingers are really good against this. Things like Peltas, unfortunately, sitting under the town center, but it looks like it doesn't matter. No real units here, and the Prometheans getting some good damage done. And something that Valor does is it heals you right back up to full HP. So taking damage on a non-hero Kyriballaster is absolutely fine. Unfortunately, he is sitting right in this range. And Mosca is targeting the low HP hero Kyriballaster, which is exactly what he wants to do. Like Valkyrie is getting some raids done, which is exactly what you want to do if you're against this kind of annoying pressure, is try and do some pressure yourself, because all of their buildings are forward. They got nothing defending. But what they can do is Valor up, so it is quite difficult to get the damage done, but Neymar is doing a pretty good job. That the Hearse is trying to run. He's dodging those arrows nicely, trying to get as much town center damage as possible. I imagine Mosca wants to get his watchtower upgrade. How much does that actually cost now? It costs so much. Oh, the poor guy. Oof. That's a feels bad. The Valkyrie getting so much damage done. Oh, Hearses have spotted the Prometheans as well. Promethean offspring are insanely quick though, so they should be able to get away. It looks like all the gold miners have come up here, which is a pretty sick play from Mosca, to be honest. So Neymar can really make a choice now. I mean, he can put pressure on the remaining things. So he can put pressure on these chickens, these berries, the wood lines, if he wants to. Think about Steph, actually. There's no wood lines in front. They're all behind. So the wood, he could even wood starve, which is a pretty wild thing to say. It doesn't happen very often. But the logical play is to just bring everything over to this gold mine, because the villagers are kind of stranded there. Looks like they are trying to come back. Hearses will nicely take out the Promethean offspring, and there's just so much walking time for these poor villagers. Raiders trying to get around the back on those Kyriballaster. If he can get on one of the heroes, could be pretty big. But Mosca doesn't lose any units there. But the walking time is going to do him in. Does lose one Hearser. Valor up on the Catapulties. Might even be worth getting some extra oracles out. I don't know whether you can afford it on this kind of rush, though. You kind of just want to be spending everything you have on those Prometheans. Mosca, he's even doing some really good building placement too. He's on this gold mine actually, so that is a nice oracle placement. We take it back. It's absolutely perfect, right on the corner, so he knows if it's been gathered from. Also getting some buildings back at home. Now we'll be moving his villagers out, I assume. Or just sitting in the base. I guess doesn't want to leave himself open to more raids, so just goes for the goes for the safe food. And maybe you don't need the hyper efficient food if you're pushing your opponent off everything. What's over here? So the raiders are coming back. Nice awareness though to move that oracle back. And a handful of units trying to take out the counter barracks. Yeah, literally no wood in the bank for the Odin. It's so tough. But Mosca coming in with an absolutely huge raid. Only 3 citizens decided to move out on that food, and I think they're all going to pay for it with their lives. So this does leave Neymar open to go for this gold mine. Looks like the gold mine villagers have gone. Another villager gone down. 3 villagers down. Actually, villager numbers absolutely equal, but the fight here, because half of the army's this way, it means you can do something with your overwhelming ball, the death ball as they're known, the ball of units. And we see the raids coming in. So this is what makes Mosca a really good player. Beside Odin, whatever, is just constantly getting those raids off. Manages to catch one as well. That definitely feels bad. These units, they need to be finding something. Maybe more oracles. Just sending a random catapulties around just to have a look. These guys are quite quick. I think they have decent line of sight. They can just look around, try and find somewhere to attack. Try and use this immense force that you've really got. So it looks like Neymar's stopped building units for the time being. Whether or not he's kind of biding his time, thinking about what what units to build, or whether he's thinking about the next stage going for some kind of behemoth push. Because with Chronos, you do get extra myth unit spawns, so you do get 2 behemoths, which is pretty brutal. But it does mean that the unit numbers are very similar here. And sneaky back in the corner, there's some really low HP villagers as well. So Mosca wants to kind of keep the units here. So he's going to bait them, even though he knows that he's probably not going to win that fight. But nice little bait. Neymar doesn't take the bait, so nice play from him also. And then, yeah, anytime there's units running away and you've got Kyro Ballisters, just turn and burn. Those boys are terrifying. And the counter barracks actually coming up over here. Oh, is going to be able to juke that town center. Nicely brings him back. Absolutely fine. And then bringing his temple forward because Rhea is on the way. Time shifting that from the back to where his army is. Makes sense. And a really nice oracle spot here that these villagers are going to be sneaking all the way back. When actually they could have just sat there. He was happy to leave them there just to put full pressure on the base. And actually, that was a pretty nice temple shift because all the rest of the buildings are being cleaned up. That's something that these Chronos mains or any mains really know, that like those really small timings that you probably wouldn't really notice if you're only playing them once. Has managed to get Valkyrie pretty nicely. I think Mosca, one issue is he has the majority raiding cavalry, at least what I've seen. And the catapulties, they just absolutely melt them. Probably does need to get medium catapulties in at some point. Going for Prometheans instead. But also a fine choice. Yeah, the raids coming in. Such an open map. Even forced on farms, but absolutely fine. Just need to manually target down those raiders because the Valkyries do tank for days. But yeah, there's just no buildings back here. Just a market. Maybe even needs to like grab this gold mine. Maybe just literally just run all of his gold mines down here, really close to his army. Would be a pretty good shout. But double behemoth is in. You need to let them go in first. You need to just let the behemoths go in. He's going to get a forest fire. Nice bit of micro to get through the mana. That's not easy to do with the 2 spaces. Does manage to get it. And now all the units coming in. The behemoths are scary. Even manages to take a Valkyrie, which is definitely going to be worthy to his cause. Oh, it's tanking all the throwing axeman damage. Also, throwing axeman looks like Mosca does notice. Mosca needs to get those throwing axeman onto those catapulties. But town center down. Behemoth's taken basically no damage. And I think all the raiders have left Neymar's base, and he's just trying to clear up. Nice attempted micro here. Kind of just doing attack move though, which means a lot of the Prometheans are going to get attacked. If you're doing that, you kind of need to run away, then click the unit you want. It's tough, but it's definitely worth it. I think the defensive units coming through for Mosca is going to mean that he can defend this. Terma coming in to snipe the throwing axemen. They do so much damage to throwing axemen. Like the one shot there. Actually, the Prometheans are lasting way longer than I thought. Maybe they're just heroic age ones. They're just so much stronger. Keep trying to see these red dots. They're ravens. Now, what's Neymar's plan here? I think he was raided so much with the forest fires, with everything, that he didn't really have that many units to actually carry on. So if Mosca could have defended the town center from actually going down, it would have been very difficult. He would be pretty much even. That sort of Valor up. And this Oracle, this cheeky Oracle, I think Mosca's going to spot it. No, he won't. He has no idea. Is the villager going to notice it? I literally... Oh, like he's... Oh, perfect. Absolutely perfect. Move back to the perspective of the player we're watching. But again, absolutely huge raid off here. Now he is moving out to the gold mine. Getting the deers. Yeah, Mosca will have already cleared those up to get the favor in for those. Get more Valkyries out. I'm so shocked these guys don't see him. They now see him. literally just the corner of him, and they're all going to run away. So even though the Chronos is kind of ahead here, you just gotta wait. Like, you basically had nothing. You can't just go all in. I would like to see a couple of units come over here though. Surprised to not see that one, but maybe didn't want to lose loads of units in a counter raid. So does make some sense. Not sure what they're doing. Nah, going for the bears. They just got a bit lost. Now we're seeing just the Heroic Age comp, just a complete swap up, basically. Medium Contarius, Arcus, getting a few Mimilo, basically a bit of everything. Caraballis, I guess he doesn't know what he's against, so just kind of hedging his bets, going for a bit of everything. Makes sense to get the Arcus out. I mean, they are the damage dealers. But no Catapulties, considering he's seen basically full Raiders. Must know that there's some sort of transition coming. I think it's kind of wild to not send any units forward, just to have a little look, just have a cheeky look. Right, one of these Promethean offsprings that they're so quick. Just send one of them, grab him, and just start shift clicking like a madman. Just have a look at everything. And Neymar securing his gold mine pretty nicely. He's queued up, pre-queued basically everything. He's pre-queued this mail, which is very good against the Norse. Valkyries, there's plenty of Valkyries here. How's the hero situation looking? Only 3 heroes. Is managing to take a Valkyrie for himself, as long as he can target those down with his heroes. His Valkyrie's still alive. Throwing Axeman trying to get some good damage as well, but there's not really too much with a Throwing Axeman to deal with, so a nice Arcus shift to actually deal with that. All the units, except for those two, are all the things that Throwing Axeman really want to deal with. Now they've got to focus down Valkyries and things like that. Trying to get a bit of a building block there, but can't see quite behind them. Needs to grab the Arcus just to pull them forward to do a bit of a just kind of stutter step micro, but is far enough ahead from his early raid, and that is how to play Chronos. So I guess this is how Chronos gets wins. You've got to, I mean, this is a very big favorable matchup for the Chronos. Maybe we can watch some Atlanteans that don't have this good a time, but well played by Neymar. Moscow played that insanely well though, with this forest fire here, with this constant pressure.